I saw this quarter, for example, quarter three, I'm using that as an example, but I'm sure it happened throughout the year as well. Your operational metrics improved quite dramatically. And I use the term very carefully. I don't use it often. So my question to you is, by virtue of the change that you mentioned at the start of this interaction, which is the variable cost versus fixed cost mix, by virtue of the fact that you mentioned that there is a lot more impetus that you're giving to other revenue streams as well, which are ancillary but been a part of this. Do you reckon that these operational metrics, these margins, are levels that you might be able to sustain or improve upon going ahead? And I'm talking about a 5-year view, not necessarily 2-3 quarters.
I personally believe yes. I personally believe it. And
sorry, I didn't mention ARRs, by the way.
Yeah, I'll give you 3 reasons for
it.
Number one, we have communicated under Avan 2025, which is our strategy, call to action, a balanced portfolio of owning 50% or leasing 50% of our portfolio, and on a management or a fee-based driven model for the remaining 50%. So number one is operating leverage. Number two is very strong growth. We have communicated numbers which are very different for our organization. It took us almost 115 years to come to 100 hotels, and it took us only 3, 4, 5 years more to come to 200. And today we are at 252 in terms of the total portfolio, with around 185 in operation. So the growth, and a growth on a different business model, and I'm not counting homestays in it, which we have added another 100 in homestays, and what I just now said on quick service restaurants and home delivery. These are all very high margin businesses. So we reimagined some of our brands. We kept the names because those names were very good. Whosoever thought of them did a brilliant job. So Ginger is a great name, but we reimagined Ginger value proposition completely, and we repositioned that brand. We came up with new brands like Cumin and Ama, and we scaled up in the growth part very strongly with the 120 contracts that we have added in the last 5 years, of which 50 hotels have already opened. So when we report our numbers, we have the benefit of the operating leverage because of the hotels we own. When the times are good, it drives your revenue up and profitability. At the same time, we have the benefit of the relatively new businesses, which are small but are reimagined, and they contribute high contribution margin or high EBITDA margin. So they drive the percentage level. And there is one third factor, which is the other one, is continuous innovation. So it's not that now we did this and we stopped there. So we have also reimagined and done a lot of asset management in our existing beautiful assets by renovating smartly. I'll give you an example. 5 years ago, the Taj brand had 31 hotels in operation. Today, it has 75 hotels in operation. So that's almost a 2.5x growth. Of these additions, the 44, 24 came from existing hotels which were a bit run down. So we started on that journey long time ago, and we kept upgrading our portfolio. So when even the Indian subcontinent or India was hit by COVID, our assets in Holiday Village, Fort Aguada, Fisherman's Cove, all these resorts had been renovated and were ready to start contributing positively, and that journey has continued. So the combination of operating leverage, growth with innovation, and not losing sight of high margin business, and the third being effective asset management, has created the impact that you see on our results. And all 3 quarters, Q1, Q2, Q3, have been the best quarters in the history of our company. And I have no doubt the way it is going that Q4 would be any different.
Oh, okay.